year is banging on the door, and we have completed almost 2023, and we are entering 2024. You can see you have lots of memories, lots of griefs, sorrow. You have many of joys in 2023, and we have lots of things to recall. So getting and losing both are the parts of our life. It is our faith, our aqidah, fundamental aqidah. What we have lost in our life, we shouldn't regret in our life. We should have a belief in aqidah that everything is happening from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we lost something, that means He gave us something and He took it back. Everything belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If He took back money from us, if He took back our business from us, if He took back our awlad from us, if He took back anything from us, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because everything in this world belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there is no room for regret. We shouldn't regret what we get. We always remember those blessings that we got from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we value them, and then thanks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever we have lost, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should have patience, and whatever we getting, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should thanks Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if you regret, if you scream, if you disappoint, okay, it is kind of ungratefulness. And if you thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ala alhamdulillahi ala kulli hal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, la in shakartum la azidannakum. If you thank me, I will grant you increase. I will give you more in your life. But if you regret, if you have complained, if you have no patience in your life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, wala in kafartum inna adhabi la shadid. If you are ungrateful, remember the contempt of my punishment, the contempt of my punishment and torment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, it is severe. You have to face the dire consequences one day. Inna adhabi la shadid. Today is December 29th. A lot of people celebrate. I don't say that don't celebrate. There is no restriction from Islam as long as you celebrate, as long as you are happy within the parameter of the Sharia. You can be happy for anything. Islam does not say, no, don't do that, don't eat, don't make barbecue, or don't do that. Like, it's your life, you can be happy within the parameter of the Sharia. You can do that. But we should think about that 1 year fell short of our life. And the life is melting. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala said, as a beautiful thing he said, we should take a lesson, we should learn a lesson of life from an ice seller who sells the ice on the street. If you look at back your country, back home, some ice sellers sell their ice on the street. There was no machines or something like that. It makes, like frozen. And it's melting quickly. And his mission in his life is as soon as complete his task, his mission, and before it melts. So Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala anhu said, like your life is like an ice. We should take a lesson from an ice seller Because as long as you have in mission, the mission exists, you should complete ASAP. And you add value in it in your life. You add a quality in it in your life. Because life is melting every single year. Today I'm 39, next year I'm going to be 40 years old. The life is melting. A lot of people in this occasion, I know that they take the retirement from the life, and it is natural. We are 70 years old, we're 75 years old, and we are taking retirement for our life. It is natural. We can't say don't take retirement. But Quran, if you look at the Quran in Hadith Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we should not take the retirement from the life. Usually when people take retirement from the life, like I'm 75 years old or 80 years old, we have nothing to do in our life except sitting at home, scrolling down the social accounts and counting the days of life. This way you are enhancing your anxiety, you are enhancing your depression and frustration in your life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you take the retirement from your job, from your work. But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you strength and power, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the health, then you should dedicate and devote your life for the service of humanity. You should devote your life for the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you should associate yourself from any organization, any NGOs, non-profit organization, any Islamic center. You should come and devote your life, and you should fulfill what you have not done yet before that you had desire in your life, but you had no time. Because you have business, you have a lot of things in your life, and I don't have time to devote myself for the service of humanity, for the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is a golden opportunity for me. Now I'm retiring from my work, and I'm dedicating and devoting myself for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We shouldn't sit at home while we are 70. You do not know like how many days or how many years you have. Maybe you have 30 more years. Why you are not devoting your life for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah said, remember Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, beautiful hadith, ni'matani maghbubun fihima kathirun minan nas. Two blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that many people waste. And what are they? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, as-sihhatu wal faragh. Sihat, good health, and free time. They are blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you got. Don't waste it. If we are healthy, we don't care. We eat in abundance. We eat a lot of things in our life. Doctors say don't eat like you have so and so, abstinence in your life. You don't care about it. You eat bunch of food at night and you sleep and don't go to the gym or don't exercise. Don't care about the life, about the good health. And as the same way, like when we have the free time, today a lot of things, a lot of means to waste our time. Before that, like 20-25 years, when the technology is not in high, okay, we had nothing except a television, maybe a few channels you have. But today you have a lot of things to waste your time. And we are wasting. And no matter like what's the age, if you are 70 years, 80 years, if you are addicted to the social media, oh my God, it's no end in your life. You can spend hours and hours spending on the screen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you have free time, you should dedicate and devote yourself for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the cause of your community. We have a lot of things here. And this is the time of when we have like 2 days left to enter the new year. And this is the time of introspection. This is the time of assessment. This is the time of evaluation and resolution. We should make resolution in our life. We should introspect ourselves Because whatever blessing we got from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to give them an account on the day of the judgment. Believe me. We have to give them an account. Don't think that whatever we got and we take for granted, like whatever we got, okay, we will not be asked on the day of the judgment. Remember this beautiful hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I repeatedly mention it many times in here. Let me remind myself and you. Beautiful hadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "La tazulu qadama ibni Adama yawm al-qiyamati min 'indi rabbih hatta yus'ala an khamsin." The feet of the son of Adam shall not move from before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of the judgment. Your feet will be stuck on the ground before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you cannot move your feet. It will be stuck on the ground before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of the judgment, hatta yus'ala an khamsin, until you are asked about 5 things, and you have to reply about those 5 things. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the first question will be an umrihi fima afna, about your life. What did you do with this life? I have given this ni'mah of Allah. I have given you this ni'mah. What did you do with this life? And you have to give an account. Like, I live in this world 70 or 80 years old. I have to give an account, like, what did we do with this life? And number 2, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "An shababihi fima abla." The golden period of your life is your youth. What did you do with this youth? How did you spend this youth? When you are strong, you were strong, you have power, you have energy. What did you do with this? Remember that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, like on the day of the judgment, when there will be no shade except the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, 7 people will be provided shade by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and one of them is youth. وَشَابٌ نَشَأَ فِي عِبَادَةِ اللَّهِ. The youth who dedicate himself for the worship, for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will be provided shade on the day of the judgment, when there will be no shade except the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you will be asked about your youth. And number 3, وَمَالِهِ مِنْ أَيْنَ اِكْتَسَبَ. And about your wealth, your money, where did you get from? How did you make your money? Through haram way or halal way? Every single penny you have to give an account to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And fima anfaqa wa fima anfaqa. And where did you spend this money? This is also this question. This is the 4th question will be asked. Where did you spend this money? Did you spend this money for your own luxury? Or did you spend this money for the cause of Allah? Did you spend this money to help other people? Did you spend this money to extend the gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Or did you spend all money for eating, for making a house and property and the jewelry? This for money, because Allah said, whatever I have given you, you have to share with other people. And number 5, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Bamaza amila fima alima." And what did you act upon that you learn from somewhere? Today I'm delivering khutbah, or anything like you learn in your life, that this is halal or this is haram, this is right, this is wrong. Do you act upon it? Did you do something like that? When you learn something and then after that you turn your blind eye to him, and they say, no, okay, fine, whatever I got khutbah and imam deliver khutbah, then I got something and I learned something, but you forgot everything as soon as you leave the masjid. You will be asked. I'm paying my responsibility and you have to pay your responsibility also. These are the 5 questions when you will be asked this 5 questions, and then you have to answer, you have to give an account, and then you can move from there. لا تزول قدم ابن آدم من عند ربه يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن خمس. Remember this one. Life is not measured by how long you live in this life. If you live 90 years, life is not measured by that. It is measured by what you achieve and give to the community. And even your fate, your destination will be decided by what you achieved in your life. So we are spending the month and 12 months, we spent already the 12 month, almost we spent. So it is measured by what you achieve and what you give to the community. What you give to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What you give and return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Quran say in Surah Al-Hashr, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. O you who believe, wal tanzur nafsum ittaqullah, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wal tanzur nafsum ma qaddamat lighad. Let every single soul introspect what he has forwarded for tomorrow. If you commit sins, if you commit adultery, if you commit fornication, you are forwarding for tomorrow. And you have to face the dire consequences on the day of the judgment. If you do noble deed, you also forwarding your noble deeds for the judgment, for on the day of the judgment for you. And you will get whatever you forwarded today. You have to keep in your mind. So we must make a New Year resolution. And the New Year resolution that may help for the betterment of our world and the hereafter. New Year resolution is not only for your world, your worldly things. This is only for the hereafter. You can make both resolution. I do not deny, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not say and does not endorse that you be faqir or miskeen or the destitute. Allah said make money within the parameter of Sharia. You can be a millionaire or billionaire. You can have the aspiration. You can have desire. You can fly, but within the parameter of Sharia. Because when you are millionaire, you can help Islam. You can help Deen. You can help constructing the masjid and madrasa. You can help ummati muslimin, ummati muslima. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not say that you become always faqir or miskeen or poor. Allah said you can make a resolution for your life, but at the same, the resolution should be for akhirah. What we have achieved and what we have lost, we should make it in the next year for 2024. Still we have 2-3 days and we can make our resolution. If we are the businessman, we should assess, we should introspect our source of income. If we are businessmen, we establish the businessman, this is the resolution. We should review our source of income, whether it is halal or haram. And if you think that this is not good, this is not according to Islam or the Sharia, we should leave it, or we should have planned within 6 months, inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to get rid of this source of haram. This is the resolution for you for the akhirah. If you are employee, you should review and assess your duty, that whether you are paying, you're rendering your duty as per the Quran, as per the commandment of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You are doing justice or not with your work, with your job. And you should make accordingly your resolution in the new year. If you are the family, if you have family and you are the head of the family, you should look at your family, your responsibility, whether you are paying your accountability as per the instruction of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For your wife, for your children, for your home, for your household. And then you have to make the resolution accordingly. If you are Muslim, then you should look at and you should assess your iman. You assess your servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that whether you are the submissive servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not. You are paying your duty, your obligations or not. If not, you have to make it. If we are not praying 5 times salah. We should make a resolution that inshallah from next year I will not leave any salah inshallah ta'ala. If I don't come to the masjid, we have to make resolution inshallah every day at least in 1 salah I will pray with the congregational prayer inshallah ta'ala. If we don't fast, we should make resolution. If we have the weakened iman, we should make resolution for that. I know that you have resolution for your world, but I'm talking about the akhirah. You should make. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said beautifully, "Hasibu anfusakum qabla an tuhasabu." Judge yourself before you are judged on the day of the judgment. فَإِنَّهُ أَهْوَنُ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الْحِسَابِ غَدًا أَن تُحَاسِبُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ الْيَوْمِ. It is easier for you to prepare yourself. It is easier for you to prepare and judge yourself today rather than tomorrow on the day of the judgment. So we should make our resolution for the world and at the same time with the akhirat inshallah ta'ala.